Okay. Hello.
Hi. Another week down, another person gone, another chip away from Team Steven, another hope and dream taken away from me and my hopes for this season. Let's get into it.
Oh gosh.
Um, yeah, I mean, like, listen, I need to go back. I mean, full transparency. This is rankings for the final seven, but we pretty much know how the final six is happening. Our rankings are already locked, but I need to like go back in time as to like how I was feeling then. Um,
This week was a whole lot of like unnecessary.
the
Just like,
final seven was,
yeah,
yeah, an extreme amount of
a whole
unnecessary.
lot of fighting for no reason. A whole lot of why did voting Brady out take the entire day? Like that, like it was just so much of like
Why are people just lying? Like it
it's
makes no sense. It's a whole lot of no
too
sense. People
much.
are actively making the wrong moves for their game, are actively lying when they shouldn't be, are actively picking fights when they shouldn't be. It's just like a lot of like, what are you doing? And it's like everyone except for like one person who like I don't even know. Like, let's just go. I'm done. I'm done. Let's end the season. Give Ari the win.
Let's not do that. Give Anna the win. Where is she?
Anywho, Ashley.
Ashley. Okay, gotta start this off again. Ashley, I love you. Love you, Ashley. Literally never like first of all, DRs always make me laugh, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, never in the center of toxicity. Always gets shit on, but never fights back. Never makes it toxic. Ashley, I love you. Game player Ashley, I hate you.
Like, I just like what can't Steven, I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
Name one active move that Ashley has made in this game.
How was your New
That's
Year?
been good for the game.
Happy New Year. How are
You
you doing
can't. You can't do it. Literally, this week, it's the final seven. It's a crucial vote. She has the alliance with Brady and Dally. They saying they are with her. And literally, it's one thing to be like, talk to everyone and like be stiff armed, like, no, there's no way in hell we're keeping Brady. It's another thing to hear from someone first, not even push it, that the majority is probably leaning towards Brady, and your first reaction is, well, I'm not sure if that's best for my game, but I can just use the excuse that Eduardo saved me in the chain, and I'll just vote out Brady with the majority because I don't want to not be in the majority. And I'm like, girl, it's the final seven. You haven't made like here's how many moves you've made. Zero right there. See it? Um, the only thing that she has going for her is like at this point, her game is so passive that it's like people are giving her their stamp card, which like I don't know. I think it's a joke, but like against the right person, the jury can actually vote for her. So like I guess that's good.
It's also like
But it's just like she actively just like sure she talks to people. That's not what we're talking. There are the people that don't do anything like Andrew Kalmeyer or like Peace and Love, I Love You, Caroline, but like you who like actually sit and don't say anything. But then there's the people who talk, but it's like Ashley isn't actually doing anything in the game, you know? Like people present her with things and she like nods and like, yeah. But she doesn't do anything with the information. She doesn't push for her own game. Like she just kind of like sits there and like lets the game happen.
and it's just like I'm confused at like what her plan is now. Like everybody tells her that she's not doing anything. And then what's gonna happen when she gets to the end? She's like, actually, I was doing stuff. Then what are you gonna say? Like, I'm confused.
Like
Like,
I don't know what she's actually gonna say. Like I talk to a lot of people. Like yeah, everyone knows that because everyone talked to you because everyone talked to everyone. Like I just uh
I love her.
I
She's
want so
watched.
much more
She's
for
she's
her,
about to
but all
watch.
this ain't it.
She's about to finish watching every video we've ever made. I feel
She's
so.
not gonna have fun watching the season 11 ones. I hate to break it to you, best
I feel
girl.
so bad.
This ain't it. Um, Listen, because like maybe her jury chances are because here's the thing. As much as we're reading for gameplay right now, for me, once we're in the final six, which is for all intents and purposes where we are now,
Hmm.
and like Brady is gone this week, we know who the final six are. My ratings have now completely shifted towards win equity, and then
Hmm.
that's affected by how likely are you to get there. So like, you know what I mean? And I think Ashley is the single-handedly most likely person to sit in final two. I would be shocked if she wasn't in final two. I would be shocked if she won the game. I cannot raise my score.
I was gonna say I
I'm
really
staying
think
at
so.
three.
Me too.
And I'm just like
I
Ashley
really think
girl.
as well. Sad. I'm sad.
And
Sad. Okay. Moving on. Brady. Braid
Harp
robbed.
and broke so many
Braid
times.
robbed.
Brady literally robbed. Here's the thing. Um, I think if she got to the end, she would have actually had one of the highest chances at a jury vote.
Hmm.
And I think she played this week
As well she could have.
as well as she could have. Listen, she knew Eric was going to put her up. She went to Eric and was like, "Listen, I played my way off the block one time. I don't see it happening again. I totally understand if you put me up because fully transparently, if I want HOH, I would put you up at this point. However, I wouldn't target you, and I hope that you wouldn't target me." And when Eric put Brady up, he wasn't targeting her. Brady's biggest issue was Dakota. Dakota really turned the tax on her this week, changed Eric's mind. We'll talk about that when we get to the two of them. Um, you had Dakota pushing for her to leave, really convinced the masses. On top of Dally coming off the block, it didn't help that she was against Eduardo. But most honestly, what didn't help her the most was that everyone pathologically lied to her. There was no need. There was no need. You knew she was gonna blow up right away. Like I understand, like, oh, we don't want Brady exposing them, but it's like, what is she? What are you so afraid that she's going to expose?
I do understand that it's like I'd rather deal with her at the eviction than like for 4 hours before the eviction.
100%. But it's one thing to be like an hour before the eviction, be like, hey, just the heads up, I don't think the votes are there. It's not looking good. And like, I respect you too much to not let you know that I don't think you're staying. Do what you need to do. Or even just being like, oh yeah, like I don't know, like even just being wishy-washy, but literally getting up in her face and like being like, yeah, no, totally, I'm keeping you 100%. Here's the reason why. Just like unnecessarily, just like pathologically lying to her face. I'm mainly talking about Jacob, um, to be clear and frank, because Dakota was wishy-washy. Dally didn't want to vote out Brady, and Ashley just went with the majority because that's what she always does. Um, so like I don't know, like people think it's fun, but like in my like that's something that loses you the game. It's okay to betray people out of respect, but just lying to someone on the way out the door doesn't leave you with a pot. Like there's a way to do it that leaves people with a positive taste. And that's not what happened with Brady. And I think Brady is going to be the biggest factor in changing this jury how she wants it to go. Which say what you will about it. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but we saw it happen season one. Why David Fosbetter does not deserve to win the game. I think we're going to see a very similar story this season in terms of how the jury mentality works. So, Brady, so sad to see you go. There wasn't a lot you could do. However, I'm only gonna go down to a 4 for Brady.
That's what I'm going as well. Um, her chances of winning, if she got to the end, were so high that I feel like, and she really like didn't do anything wrong this week besides lose the veto. So I'm also only going down to a 4 as well. Brady has a 4. Brady has had a ride. Oh my gosh.
What a ride, yeah. I
Ultimately,
mean,
end of the day, love Brady.
love Brady. I would be so excited to see her play again.
Hmm. Okay, Dakota. Dakota.
I mean, listen, he didn't win the comp, but this was Dakota's HOH.
Yeah, for real.
Let's get that out there. I'm sorry, Eric. Love you to death. You can get in your diary room all you want and be like, well, I don't want people to think that Dakota manipulated me because like I make the decision myself. And it's like, yes, you made the decision yourself, but Dakota convinced you to do it. Like there's no slicing and dicing it. If Dakota wasn't in your ear, it wasn't gonna happen. And I don't necessarily believe like I understand the points Dakota made, but they were points made in favor of what he wanted. You know what I mean? I think Dally was the bigger threat to Eric's game. Spoiler alert for the following week. Like Brady is the enemy you know. Dally is like
And even still, like,
you've just done her so dirty, you just needed to get rid of her. Like, you know what I mean? Like
and also like if he went to Brady and was like, Dakota literally is trying to come after you, kept her,
he
he
plays
could
too
have been, if
nice.
Brady won, he
Anyway,
probably could have been off the block this week.
we're not talking about Eric right now. We're talking about Dakota. Um,
I know, just saying.
but yeah, I mean Dakota ran this HOH. He got the move that he wanted. He got Brady out of here. Brady is now the second person in a row to leave saying Dakota is in everyone's pockets. You know what no one's talking about this week? The fact that Dakota is in everyone's pockets. Just now at the very end of week 6, like that kind of got discovered, but even then, not really. Um, he's got this boot order lined out, and if it goes his way, he's got a clear shot to final two. I think,
Mm.
I mean, he and Dally are really Dally's been the best at comps so far, but Dakota's got, in my opinion, the best shot at these end game competitions in terms of being ready for them. Um, so we'll see. I think he could comp out to the end. My big thing is this cast and jury as a whole, for some reason, I don't really get it. Does not seem to respect people that played the middle, even if they did it well. You go to someone who's played the middle and he's played it well ever since Yoshi's atrocity of an HOH. You know what I mean? But people, I think, want to see people that had a side, stuck to it, weren't afraid to like unapologetically call people out and still be able to make moves and do what like. So like I think that Dally is what the jury wants to see in a winner right now. I don't think it's Dakota. I think Dakota needs to leave for his life and not wishy-washy any like you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think pleading to the jury will be his toughest battle. I hope to talk some sense into them at the round table, but we'll see. But I thought this is great all around from Dakota. I think his win equity should be really high, and I think his chances of getting there are really high. I'm just gonna stay at my 9.
I'm also staying at my 9. Yeah,
Um,
I don't really have anything else to add to that. Um, I think Dakota has been playing from the start and hasn't stopped playing. And I think a lot of people don't see that. And that's pretty, that's not true for everybody here. And I really respect that. And I think the jury will too. I think if he can get to the end and kind of explain his game a little more, especially with these last few people that will be joining the jury, I think he could take it. I think if you were in the end,
I mean,
out
hey,
against anybody except Dally, which I don't think there's a universe where he even would be. Um,
I find it remarkable, in my opinion. The alliance structure is not the same, but I think the archetypes in the same are the same as season 8. I think Dally is Wick right now.
mhm.
The outspoken comp threat that has a side that everyone in the jury is rooting for. You have Dakota, who is the Dalton, the more smarmy, under the radar, playing all sides player that people don't really expect until the end when he's sitting there and he's able to be like, boom, I did that. And then you've got Ashley who's sitting in final two like Isabel, and we'll get Yoshi's vote.
I mean, Eric's Rocky, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
I could see
literally. I think
Eduardo
so.
Steven. And who's the other person? I don't even know who it was.
Yeah, no, literally, literally.
Oh,
I
Elijah.
think this season really has a lot of similarities to season 8, but like in a very like discount Walmart version of it, you know?
Very discount Walmart version.
Very discount Walmart version. But yeah, Dakota's playing great. I'm really impressed.
Tally.
Danny, I'm also really impressed.
Mm.
She really should have gone home this week. Dear God, she really should have gone home this week. Um, but Dakota, oh sorry, jumping back to Dakota real fast. Can we talk about the veto competition? Because that was a boss ass move that he will pull out at the end. But like what happened at the veto was he talked to Eric and Dally before the veto. He talked to Eric being like, listen, I think we should shift the target to Brady. I think Dallas should come off the block to ensure that Brady goes home. And Eric is like, I hear that. I think Brady should go home. However, please keep noms the same. I don't want to name a third nom. I don't want them changing. And I think let's just get the votes. Then Dakota talked to Dally and it's like, we want to keep you this week. At the veto, it comes down to Dakota, Dally, and Eric. They're all in the Zoom together. Dakota says like, pause competition. We've all talked about this. Throw it to me. I'll take off Dally. We're all cool with this, yeah? Dally's like, yeah. What is Eric gonna say in the moment? No, I want to win and not save Dally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is he gonna do? Dakota really stiff armed him into do what he wanted this week. It was great. Like, you know what I mean? Really impressive. On that note, Dally survived the week. And now I think last week and the final 4 are going to be her toughest weeks to survive.
Mhm.
And she got through last week. Um, she's got people that are protecting her. We know she's staying at the final 6. And I think there's a good chance she stays at 5. So I'm feeling good about Dally. I gave Dally a 5 last week. Um, I'm raising my score decently significantly. She's a big threat. I do think her chances of sitting in final 2 are pretty slim, which is why my score isn't as high as someone like Dakota. But I'm going to raise my score to a 7 for Dally.
That's actually also where I'm going as well. Um, Dally, especially in the more recent weeks, I think has impressed me a lot more. I think that initially she was here for the oh, like I'm just gonna play to have fun, and if I get to the end, then so be it, and I'll just have fun. But now I think as the weeks have progressed, she's seen that her chances of getting to the end and winning have been higher, and it's like becoming a real possibility. Because after all the times that she has said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so done with this game. Like I don't want to play anymore. Like I hate all these people. I hate this game. Blah blah blah. Whatever." Every single time she has shown up, and she continues to play, and she continues to do it well. So I am very happy with Dally. Um, I agree that these next few weeks are going to be a little tricky for her. I, it's going to take, it's going to take a Grace Fader moment for her to get to the end.
She's going to need to do what Wick couldn't do.
Exactly.
Um, I don't think it's a Grace Fader moment because peace and love. Like Grace was a talker and was able to get herself like out of sticky situations.
We
I
thought
think
that if Grace was gonna lose a competition, she was out.
I think Dally just needs to win.
And we were wrong, granted, but
Um, Dally just needs to win her way to the end.
yeah, agreed. Okay. Eduardo.
I mean, again, like peace and love, but King of Delusion, like I don't know. He's just also someone that hasn't actively pushed for anything in this game without it being fed to him first. I cannot name a single thing that Eduardo has actively done. Sorry, like I can't sugarcoat it anymore. What has he done? The biggest thing that he has going for him is that in this last week, everyone wanted to take it a final three. Dakota made a final three with him. Jacob made a final three with him. Ashley is two final threes with him. Um, and like him and Dally are on like relatively good terms right now. But like he landed back on the block.
I now
I think the jury doesn't want to see him win.
I
But
probably
again, now
see
they do. I don't know what they're thinking.
I probably see him as the person that is least likely to win the game at this point. I think Ashley would beat him.
Because Ashley has the meme quality to her.
The meme quality, and also she has like the social aspect to her. Like at least she goes around and like connects with people. I'm not saying that's like a winning quality,
I mean, I don't think that's gonna win any votes in this jury.
but I think over Eduardo it could.
No, I don't think that's. I think what's gonna win Ashley the game is yes, go Queen Ashley.
I know.
Not. Oh yeah, Ashley did play well. You know what I mean? That's what's gonna win her,
I
in
think
my opinion.
Ashley. I'm curious how Ashley acts in front of a jury.
And also, I don't even think I think she could give a great plea, and the jury will still go like kind of like Emma.
I don't
You know what I
know.
mean?
I kind of disagree with that. I think she could give a really good plea, and the jury is like mistakenly, oh, were we like this entire time? Like she's still here and at the final two. And
No, I don't see
no,
that happening. Peace and love, Ashley. I don't see that
I think over
happening,
Eduardo,
and I really don't see that happening from Eduardo.
you think Eduardo would beat her?
No,
So that's what I'm saying.
but I'm saying I don't think it's because of Ashley's speech. I think it's because Ashley is like meme queen of the season right now, and in the eyes of the jury, in the eyes of Brady and Alfred and
I just
Yoshi, she's Yoshi's boat. Like, you know what I mean?
I think she could be. I'm looking at this. I think she could be one of the better jury speakers here. Honestly, I would put her in like the top two or three jury speakers, is what I would guess. I think.
I put her at four, not including Brady in this list.
Neither am I.
I mean, I put her at four on jury speakers, and I put her at four on most likely to win. Anyway,
Anyway,
we're talking
we're
about
talking about
Eduardo.
Eduardo
Yeah, we're talking about
now.
Eduardo. I'm giving Eduardo the same score as I'm literally started with three. He's on the block this week.
Me too. I also think
Um,
that I would be very not curious because I don't want to see what happens. I don't want to know, but I would be curious to see what happens if he and Jacob are together.
if it's Eduardo and Jacob,
Hmm.
Eduardo wins, hands down.
Interesting.
Um,
I'm not convinced by that either.
yeah, we'll see. I just Eduardo doesn't have a game to talk about. He does not. He thinks he
That's what
does.
I'm
It's
saying.
like
Like honestly, I would put him as probably I could see him tanking in front of a jury to the point where even if he's next to Jacob, it'd be like, how could I vote for this person to win?
again, Eduardo beating Jacob is not because they think Eduardo played the better game. It's because they're not voting for Jacob.
But I don't know if that would happen. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to vote for
I
Jacob.
think that there
How could I
are
justify?
a significant amount of votes that would do that.
I would say three at most.
I can name four.
So name them.
I can immediately name Sonny, Alfred, Brady, and Dally. And at that point, also, it only takes one person to think that Eduardo deserves to win. You know,
I'm not entirely convinced. But anyway, three is what we agree on. Okay. Eric.
Eric, we're talking about last week. We're not going to talk about the final six yet. So, last week, Eric
Still
was
not great.
HOA. Huh?
I said it's still not great.
Oh, I mean, listen, Brady going for Eric wasn't bad. Like, he didn't make a bad move. He also, like, to be fair, didn't really have control. Dakota took control. Like, at the end of the day, Dakota stiff armed his way into winning the veto and then saved Dally against Eric's wishes. And that happens in the game. Like, people get saved at the veto. Big whoop.
Yeah, but
And
also
then,
Dakota wouldn't have
and then
taken
Brady went
control.
home 4-0. So, like, it was a fine week. He did just leave the week, though, like, clearly is the biggest threat. And he really is in the Gray Skater arc of if you lose the competition, you are going home because everybody wants you out at Final Six. And I mean, we won't spoil what happens because technically we don't know what happens yet, but that was great. Um, I think his win equity is really high. I think last week I said that he was the most likely person to win the game coming into at the final seven, or like after the final seven. I would say he's the second most likely. I think Dally is the most likely winner of the game after Brady's eviction. Um, but it's still a great spot to be in. I think he's more prepared for the end game competitions. However, I think he's more likely to get evicted before he gets to those end game competitions,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunate.
And I'll be.
Um,
Oh, I guess I. Oh, okay. Yeah, I won't say anything on this week. I guess I'll save that for later today when we do our next rankings. Um, yeah, he definitely was, and obviously he wasn't able to compete for HOH, so it was really coming. It really was going to be coming down to this next veto, and it's like if it was really going to be if he could win the veto, then speaking from
and
last week,
I mean, yes, we know he maxed out. Oh, sorry, we're not talking about final section.
that's what I was like. From the perspective of this eviction, for after Brady's eviction, it was gonna be.
We'll talk about that soon. Anyway, what are you doing in there for?
I'm still talking about the.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about. From the perspective of Brady's eviction,
uh, uh,
he did
uh,
not win HOH, and it was gonna be he wins the veto, or like people are like, oh, he's really the biggest threat. So that was my thought on going into this week. Like he probably wins next to almost anybody, but I think his chances getting there after Brady's eviction were very slim, especially with Dakota wanting to ditch him. Like everybody wanted him,
one did. Not a single person won him in the game.
but it was really coming down to this veto competition, the upcoming veto competition. I'm going for F5.
That's where I'm going as well. Hey, he's not out yet. Just pretty close to it. He needs to win in the end.
And I will say, I guess I could still say this from the perspective of Brady's eviction, is that going into this week, I thought I thought he was gonna win this veto. That's what I was thinking today. I was like, he's the person that I see most likely to win this veto.
Interesting. Funny enough, I really didn't think he was. When he came close, I was like, oh my gosh. But I was shocked. The person that won the veto is the person that I expected to win this veto.
Who could still be Eric? We don't know.
Okay.
We totally just spoiled. Who is not from the cast that's watching this? Like seriously,
Yeah, I mean, hey. And also, like, who is like not reading the spoilers because they want to wait for the episodes?
Ashley. Um,
She was on
Jake.
the season.
I know, but you know, Jacob. I will say this. And I've said this the last few weeks.
Go ahead.
I really respect that every single week since day one of this game, Jacob has put 100% effort into this season. Like, I respect and I appreciate that.
It's too much effort, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, same with Eric.
Unfortunately, that's what's going to kill him.
Same with Eric. Like, I 100% respect the fact that today he was making a Quizlet for the season. Like, same thing. Like, honestly, no matter how you do or what you do, I respect that no matter what. Now we're gonna get into the what you do.
I don't know. It's just like, listen, let's talk about the week. Eric won HOH. Really good outcome for Jacob. Not because Jacob wants Eric in power, but because
Eric is.
Eric, for some reason, continuously sides with
I don't
Jacob.
understand. Like, I actually just don't get that. Like, he like
It makes no
actively took
sense.
Paige out, and he knows that Jacob actively went against him. Like, I actually need to probe his brain
Yeah,
and
no,
help me
this will be a
understand.
big debrief after the season. Eric, what were you thinking? Why do you trust Jacob? And also also a probably right, Jacob, why didn't you trust Eric the whole time? Like it doesn't make sense.
I'm
We're at
con-
the point of the game now, finally, at the final now 6, that it does make sense for Jacob to now, like, you know what I mean? So now I don't blame him for that. But
yeah,
anyway, his relationship, let's talk about the game this week. His relationship with Dally is an atrocious one. The way that this week, was that even this week? Like, I don't even know.
yeah, that was this week.
Yeah, literally, absolutely, and utterly atrocious. And it's like, I don't, like, looking at the fights this week, like, in my mind, I just put the blame on Jacob this week. In the past, like when Jacob won HOH and he put up Dally, I would say Dally was justified in her arguments and Jacob was looking for excuses and being
Agreed.
explosive and defensive. Flip it to the following week. I think Dally was picking fights for no reason. Why did we come up with the fake screenshots? It was because she was gagging, in the words of Sani. May she rest in peace. Um, um,
My
and
favorite
like
thing was
she
when
was
Eric was.
gagging and whatever. But then Jacob got super personal. I put that blame more on Dally for sparking that. However, I think Jacob's reaction would work. But now flip it again this week. Like this just seems like Dally can't say any words ever without like Jacob like looking to make a reaction out of it. And then also like and flip any little reaction that Jacob gives to anything that Dally says, Dally then gives a bigger reaction to, which then caught like it's just a spiral. But it's just bad. It's super, he also just has like listen, straight up, Sonny will not vote for Jacob to win the game. Brady will not vote for Jacob to win the game. Dally will not vote for Jacob to win the game. And even Alfred is really teetering on the fence. If you walk into the jury where you need 5 out of 9 votes to win, that means you can only have 4 people not vote against you. If you're walking in there pretty much with 4 guaranteed votes against you, and sure, I do think it's likely that he gets Eric's vote. I do think it's likely he gets Eduardo's vote. I think it's pretty likely he gets EJ's vote. So like he does have a good chunk of locked votes as well.
What about Dakota?
Dakota, I think it depends on who Jacob's next. I don't think Dakota is locked for not Jacob.
So that's what I'm saying. That's 4 votes right there.
No, but no. Well, that's what I'm saying. When I broke it down of the 7 jury members, if it is Jacob versus someone,
9
let's say I think
or
Jacob's
9.
plan final
Oh,
two is Jacob and Ashley. So let's say it's Jacob versus Ashley. Sonny votes for Ashley. Yoshi votes for Ashley. Alfred votes for Ashley. Brady votes for Ashley. Dally votes for Ashley. Eric votes for Jacob. EJ votes for Jacob. I think Dakota probably votes for Jacob. And Warner votes for Jacob. That's 5 to
here's my
4.
thing. I'm gonna be.
Alfred and Dakota are the swings here. So it definitely could go, but
I don't. I okay. I agree. Sunny is too detached from this season to even like consider any other options. I'm really curious if Brady Brady and Alfred, and even like honestly, Brady, Alfred, and Dally being removed from the season next to Ashley. I honestly don't see like 3 out of 3 of them voting against Jacob just because it's Jacob. I could see at least one of them being like, this is like, okay,
I think Alfred's probably the biggest, like the most likely there. But the thing is, at that point also, I don't think it becomes a thing of like, screw you, Jacob, we hate you. I think it becomes a thing of like, haha, look, you lost to Ashley, Queen of
I
the
don't,
season.
you keep saying that. I don't think that's going to happen.
You weren't on the jury call last night.
I don't
Like I'm
think,
telling you, it was so extremely revealing. And like it's clear like not everyone's on board with it. Like EJ is like, guys, I would look back on that and like hate to be like a part of that. That like this is what happened.
I truly and honestly think, especially after the roundtable where we're like, okay, we're about to crown a winner after 33 days. Like, use your vote, vote for the person that played the best game. I think that, like, I can't see Brady. I know, I don't know what she said last night. I don't even see her I don't know what she said last night, but I also don't see her like sticking by whatever she said last night and being like, okay, yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
I disagree.
I could
The
see
jury chat
Dally.
all day has been talking about what they're gonna say to Jacob at the finale.
I could see Brady showing up and being like, okay, I literally just talked so much shit on Ashley about how she did nothing. How could I justify voting for her?
Because she's the queen. That's gonna be the justification.
I don't, I would be
Listen,
shocked.
if
I
you
would
look
be
at it
very
on paper,
disappointed.
this is easily the closest thing that we've had to Emma McIntyre versus David Fassbender. Jacob, in my opinion, is the closest player that has come to a David Fassbender type of game. The only difference is instead of like comping out and screwing people, he's just bold faced lying to everyone and betraying them. It's leaving people feeling the same way. I really would not I would not be shocked in the slightest if the final two was Jacob and Ashley wins the game. I would not be surprised. And I wouldn't necessarily disagree with it because Jacob has, I think, warranted bitter jury.
Oh, I agree. I
Like
agree.
I hate bitter juries in terms of people being mad that like they got them out. But when things get reactive and personal and you're just full face lying, like it's a little more warranted in my opinion. We'll see how it ends up shaking out. Jacob has played a good game, just like David did. But David got second, and I think, and listen, that's even if Jacob's in final two. I think Jacob's
Yeah.
path to final two is also very hard. I think that we're most likely looking
Impossible.
at Jacob in fourth or third place is my guess for him. Um, but yeah, I think that Jacob has the toughest time winning a jury vote out of the 6 people left.
I also am glad that he and Dally like resolved something today. Like whatever some piece of a relationship was resolved there today. They both sent in DRs, like numerous DRs, but oh, I just like talked with Jacob. Oh, I just talked with Dally. We had a good like conversation. Like we agreed that like we're like if either of us win HOH next week, we're gonna put each other up on the block. Like we're game, we're like still not with each other, but at least like we resolved some like personal issues. Which I was like, okay, good. So that also is a reason why I could see Dally possibly voting for
True.
him.
And again, the finale is not tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Exactly.
time for things to change.
So where are you
And
going?
I think that is so possible. I'm staying at my three.
I'm going up to a four.
I just really have a tough time believing that he can win a jury vote.
And we'll see how it goes, but I also think that yeah, the former half of the jury is very anti-Jacob. I think that's some that these last few people are gonna enter could be very. Oh well, Jacob actually did this. Jacob did that, and he wasn't all bad. So we'll see. But yes, that is where we are. Very disappointing place to be at the final six, but
Yeah, I mean, listen, fully transparently, we'll talk about this after the season. This is currently not what I would call my favorite season.
oh really?
Yeah, I don't know if I've made that clear.
For me, this goes above 237.
Um,
It's a new tier above S.
mhm, yeah.
I also think that this is, I mean, for a lot of different reasons, I felt very similarly at this point in season 10. And once I took like a step back, I was like, okay. It always like once you take a step back, I feel like it feels different. I
At
probably
this point in season 10, I didn't feel this way though.
felt probably
I
the
was always optimistic about season 10 and that although it was boring, we had great players in the end that deserved to win. And
not all
because
of them.
I feel, but think of at the final six of season 10, we had Dan, we
Yeah.
had Kristen, we had Anthony, we had Haley, who are four really, really strong game players. Yes, we had Maris and Victoria, but
And
there's no
also
season that doesn't
we
have
did
them.
not want Haley anywhere near the end at this point in season 10. And that is 3 versus 3, which is the same here. It's Dakota, Dally, and Eric.
But I didn't not.
And at least the season has been like unpredictable.
I think the crucial difference is if you look at it, I think if you look at 10 and the makeup of it, we knew the chances of Maris or Victoria winning were so extremely low that I could confidently say that the winner of the season was going to be Kristen, Anthony, Dan, or maybe even Haley.
You were not saying that. We were not saying that.
You're telling me that we thought at the final six that Maris was going to win the jury vote?
I didn't say that. I said that we didn't know for sure that it wasn't going to be a Maris and or Victoria and or Haley final three, final two. We did not know that. We were scared about that. I remember that.
I'm Maris Victoria final two. I just think there are so like respectfully like although again Dakota, Dally, and Eric would all make great winners.
And I'm not saying this isn't below 10 for me.
Even Jacob would be a villainous winner, but the caliber of gameplay for me of the best person this season, let's say that Dakota has the highest caliber of gameplay right now. It's still below Dan and Anthony and Kristen for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just I'm less excited. And maybe it's because like for me right now, we'll see how the season ends, of course. But like I'm feeling very similarly right now as where I felt in season 6. In terms of like Sean was great. Everyone, forget what I'm about to say. Maris was great. Great, we've forgotten it now. And Sammy even was like entertaining enough and like
No way, that shit.
an
No way.
underdog, I guess. And Armani was like, you know what I mean? Like But at the same time, it was just like, this is who we have. Like, I'm left feeling like it's fine. But I mean, Brady's gone. We're pretty sure who's going next week. It's just I see the hope slipping down the drain. I don't have confidence that we're going to have a satisfying end of the season, which is why I feel kind of. And where season 10, it was like, oh God, the worst case scenario could happen. Oh no, that chance, that small chance
But
is what I see for having a good end of the season. I'm like, we really need this one or two chances to happen.
but also I think the worst case scenarios this season are better than the worst case scenarios in season 10.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think a lot.
I
I
agree
think,
with that.
honestly, like, I mean, we could match people up here. I think I think in this final five, I would say Dally's the Kristen. I would say, or I don't. Okay, I can't.
No, I call Dakota the Christian.
I don't want to. I don't know if I want to say. Okay, we'll say the final six. Personally, I would say Eric is the Dan. Dakota. I was you. Who did you say you said Dakota's the Kristen?
I think Dakota's the
I would say
Christian.
Dakota's the Anthony. Dally's the Kristen. I would say.
I was going to say Jacob's Anthony.
I would say Jacob's the Maris. Jacob's like the crazy like.
Yeah. Listen, as much as I want to fault Jacob's game, I think it's been very messy. Don't do him that dirty.
Well, someone's got to be the Maris.
Jacob's been in control of his game the whole time, even though it's been messy. Maris was just everyone say it with me, a rat puppet.
I would say
Jacob
Ashley's.
is not
I would say
anybody's puppet. I'll
Ashley's the
give him that.
Victoria. I would say. Okay, I could see like Jacob being the Haley or something. I would say like Edward is the Maris. I guess it's not perfect, but
I think it has more similarities to 8 than it does.
and it was a really good season. So
Yeah, this is Walmart 8.
I'm not saying that this is definitely below, or I'm not saying this is definitely better than 10. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I felt very similarly during 10 at this point, and I think I personally
I feel worse during 10.
I need to take a step back before I evaluate the placement of the season. And the season needs to
The
end.
winner's going to determine it. I mean, because like straight up, if and I hate to put it this plainly right now, but I'm going to. We'll see if I regret it later based on how the season ends. That really is the game that we play with these rankings. Is Scott going to regret his words later? We'll see. Get
Notice how
back.
I don't say things like that because I love you
Um,
all, but Scott doesn't.
no, I love you all.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I would just hate to see some of you in the game. Um, if Dally wins this season, it could even be above season 1 for me. This could be like in the upper half of the
I wouldn't
season.
do that, but
If that's if Dally won. If Dakota won, we're probably looking at right above season 10. If any of the other three won, because sorry, we're sorry, it's now 2:30 a.m. We're into the final six. Brady's out, and like let's talk candidly, Eric's not making it past sixth place. If Ashley, Edward, or Jacob wins, like bottom three season. I'm sorry, peace and love, bottom three. Maybe not Jacob, maybe not Jacob. But like it's definitely, I mean, listen, season 11, you will always have this. You're above season 4. Congratulations.
I would say definitely above season 6.
We'll see how it ends.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think most likely above season 6 for me. I'm not too worried about putting it below 6.
Always above season.
Not counting it out.
I would probably stop doing Big Brother if I ranked a season below season 4. Like I don't think I could continue. That was so god awful.
Listen, as soon as we get like like listen, every season, every franchise, we need a little dip. Okay. We had a really good stretch, 7, 8, and 9. There were some good seasons. 7 is still, in my opinion, the best season we've ever had. 8 and 9 were really solid, both in the
8 and
top
9 I think
5.
are both underrated.
I agree, they're both
Underrated.
underrated. Um, then we had 10, you know. Now we have 11. Okay. I'm really praying for the summer.
I could see 12 and 13 being very good.
You have 0% basis
But
for
I
these.
know what they could possibly be and who could possibly be on them.
We'll see. We'll see once we
And the
get
themes
more
of the
details
season.
on
So
what we're.
I'm excited. Anyway,
Anywho, I think this just about wraps us up. Enough negativity for one night.
I will also, wrapping this up, I will say, when you were saying those things, I'm knocking on wood, so don't blame me if it doesn't happen. Knocking on wood. Knocking. See behind me. Okay. I would be pretty fairly astonished if it's not Dakota or Dally. I would be fairly shocked. I
That's
honestly
not even
don't see it.
close of a
I
lock for me.
I don't like, even if one of them goes out next week, I don't see the other losing a comp in the final four and a comp in the final three. Or like both.
You never know with these comps.
But okay, that's just my thought.
Anyway, ending on a positive note, what's actually funny is as much as this season has been poo-poo, just a little bit, there's a little bit of poo-poo. Oh, no, actually, I don't know if I can say that. But no, I actually will say that. Like on the whole, I always end up like I know I'm gonna regret saying no, I can't say that. But on the whole, this has actually been like one of like the casts that like I've enjoyed getting to know the most. Which is why, and it's like I say that because I look at like I mean, listen, I don't know if anyone in the pre-jury is gonna be listening right now. And if they are, it's gonna be Paige and Alexandra, who I adore.
And Anna.
And Anna, but girl, Anna, if you're here, hi, I'll give you a lot of money for being here. Hey, but I really don't think it's
Anna,
happening.
you have to send this video to us to claim $100.
Yeah, send this video to us to claim $100 for Anna Fontes only. Um, I know we're gonna receive this now. Um, but like we said, like I've really loved getting to talk to Ashley, even if she's stopped. I've Brady, what a character arc. I love Brady. Dakota's so much fun to talk on FaceTime too. Dally, I like just like love, period. Um, Eduardo's so nice. Eric is someone that I think I'll be friends with for a very, very long time. Jacob is so much fun to talk to as just like life. Alfred is so funny. EJ is again someone that I think that I'll be friends with for a while. Yoshi's a character. Sunny's an icon. Paige is a legend.
I agree. I do really like all these people. But like with 8 and 9, 8, 9, and like others, I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't, I feel like I'm so sad the season is ending. Like I feel like I'm not gonna talk to you guys as much. Like I'm so upset. This is
With
like,
eight, I was really sad. Eight is, and I'll stand by this, eight is for sure my favorite cast that we've had of like just like the new cast that are coming. Eight is
okay.
gonna be really hard to beat. There really was not anyone that I did not like on eight. Um, nine. Hmm, oh my gosh, we talked for so long.
Yeah, okay. We've been to rankings for like a half hour.
Yeah, the rankings are done. We'll see where the season ranks soon.
We only have 3 more rankings.
That's crazy.
Thank God. Okay. And one of them's later today. One of them's gonna be in less than 24 hours.
Oh, thank God.
Can't wait. Okay. We've talked for enough. If anybody's been watching this entire time, props to you.
Good for you. Text us to receive your $100 prize.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye. I forgot. I was like waiting for you to stop it, but I realized I am always one. Okay, bye.
You're